but didn't want to go get my tripod. So just a quick update for stuff I've finished since the last podcast. I finished a pair of socks. Yay! So these are made out of some sort of self-striping. I don't know what company this is from. This was a gift from someone who's a viewer or was a viewer when I got it. I don't even know if they still watch the podcast or not. So if you gifted me this yarn and you still watch the podcast, because I lost a lot of subscribers over the years. I think I got up to 3,000 subscribers and I'm around 1,000 subscribers now. So anyway, if you gifted me this yarn and you are still watching the podcast, thank you. I have made it into yarn. I've made it into yarn. I've made it into socks. But it's autumnal colors. It's really gorgeous. It came in like the, like the everlasting gobstopper configuration. So all hand wound, and you do like all of one color in one direction, and then you switch directions for the next color. It looks really pretty. So you can see I have two. The contrast color that I used is some leftover pumpkin kombucha Bowlen Vine yarns. This is absolutely everything I had left of that yarn. I used it in a sweater, which I don't wear anymore, and I may donate. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to or not, but last year, or this year, but last calendar year, the India Entangled, they had a collection for like homeless trans youth in New York, where you could donate sweaters and accessories to that charity, and they would be repurposed. So they just had like a table and you could leave it. And if any of the yarn was from a former or current India Entangled vendor, you could get an entry into a giveaway. And I did not win anything, but I did donate a couple of sweaters and some shawls that I just never wear. So I may put that in the pile for donation. I don't know. I wore it for many years, and then Meg's wore it for a while and isn't wearing it anymore. So yeah. Anyway, pumpkin kombucha. So what I did is I held it double. You kind of can't tell, but I held it double on the bottom. This part here, I've been holding the yarn double to get a really thick heel triangle, and I just hold it single for the flap. And then I was able to do one toe completely, but on the second sock I did run out, so I switched to it here, and then I ran out. So I just finished it out with the main yarn. I have a dog fur in my mouth, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I'm excited to have a pair of socks to add to my sock drawer. I wanted to record it so I could start wearing them because I have 0 clean socks right now and I need to do sock laundry, but I'm going to wear these instead. And it's probably going to take a few days for socks to dry right now because it's really cold and I put them all on a drying rack. So, yep, a finished pair of socks. Huzzah! And so now I have a free set of sock needles that I will cast something on with, and I'm about ready to turn the heel on these socks, which I showed last time. These are Geektastic fibers in the non-binary Pride colorway with a Charmed and Dangerous candy on there. So I'm going to do the heel flap and gusset on my lunch break today. But yeah, those are super fun. I had an unfortunate work thing where I was cleaning my desk off while I was on a work call and I wasn't thinking about it, and I had it in my hand and I was just like, putting my hands up, and then I was like, oh, that's gonna look silly. I wasn't even knitting on them, I was just moving them because my desk is a bit of a mess right now. It's really disorganized, and I have a real tiny desk, so like my arm span here, that's my desk. Just to this side, and then to here is my desk. It's not very big. And that's where I do all of my work stuff. So it's kind of got a little bit of everything on it. And then if I'm in here like doing stuff on my other computer, which is not a work computer, I have like knitting and stuff that I keep sitting here. Yeah, so anyway, it's fine. Whatever. Nobody's going to call me out for it, but I was like, oops, that wasn't so great. Change the date. And there we go. It is Valentine's Day today. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm going to finish eating my chili and work on my sock heel. And I'm sure I will record more at a different time. Hey everybody, just wanted to do one more quick update before I post the episode for this week and let you know how things went. So I worked predominantly on my Salty Air DK sweater this week and I finished it. Yay! And it is blocking right now, so it's wet and I'm not going to show it, but I will show it next time when all the ends are woven in and everything. So I just went ahead and washed and blocked it first because I know it's going to take a really long time to dry, and then I'll weave in the ends afterwards. I also wanted to do that because the sleeves, as they are designed right now, are quite fitted. They don't not fit, but they're like snug on this part of my arm, which I'm not used to the point where like I wouldn't be able to fit a like long sleeve sweater underneath. Most people have said that that's fine. They had plenty of room, and Samantha has said that like that was as intended. But I need to decide after blocking it if I like it, because I think they will relax a little bit. And my other sweater I have in Pole DK, which was a design from Meg from the Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits podcast. They fit perfectly and they are quite fitted. I've got hair like on my eyelash. I'm sorry. I can't seem to get rid of it. I think it's a... Okay, it was a Pyrs hair. Anyway, fun times. Yeah. Great. Okay. So yeah, I just want to check it after blocking to see if I want to rip back and re-knit the sleeves with not as quick of a rate of decrease. That said, I used almost every single bit of the 4th skein of my yarn, but I didn't have to dip into the 5th skein, which was kind of a different dye lot. If I remember correctly, Gabby said she can only dye or could only dye 2 skeins per pan. I don't remember for sure, but I think that's what happened here. Or maybe it's 4 skeins, and so the 5th skein is truly from a different pan. Anyway, I can squeak it out with 4 because of the lace work here, that like it's really open on the top. So I was able to just do it. I have a little bit left, but not very much. So if I did have to re-knit the sleeves, I would have to add in that 5th skein. So I kind of might just let them go because leaving out the 5th skein is better. Like all the other 4 matched really nicely. And that 5th one is just so different. And I'm going to use it like in a hat or something because it's really pretty. It just isn't the same color. Yeah. So the thing I've since been working on is my old beat sweater. And this is a pattern by Marcella Chang Knits. She has designed a whole bunch of garments, and I really don't see that many people knitting them, which is sad because they really are beautiful. So this is the Old Beat sweater. I just put it on 2 circulars so that I can try it on and see how it's fitting. The thing about this one is because of the motif, the sizing in the pattern is either a 39 or a 42 and a half, which is a pretty big span between the sizes that I would have chosen. Normally I choose around a 40-inch bust, so I actually went with the 39, and hopefully it'll be okay. That's a lot of negative ease for my bust part, but it's positive ease for my waist and up here. So I just didn't want it to be really baggy. I don't like really oversized things. That just isn't my aesthetic. I think they look great on other people. I just don't particularly enjoy that look on me. So this is what I've got so far. I'm almost ready to separate for the sleeves. And this looks black, but it's actually a pine green. Yeah, there you can see it. So these 3 colors are all this yarn. It is Respect from Wool Addicts by Lang Yarns. And I've got 5 balls of the gray, 2 balls of this light pink, which is quartz, 1 of these, which is Rose Melange, and then this one is Juniper Moon Farms 14 in the Shamrock colorway. These were all in the 70% off room from my local yarn store, and so I basically paid like $38 for all this yarn, which is amazing. It is a chainette construction, so if you are not familiar, it looks like that. Apologies for the band-aid. I'll tell you the story soon. So it's a chainette yarn. It is alpaca with merino and nylon. It is really, really light. So like this sweater is so light, but very warm. And it's so soft. It's so soft. But knitting color work with it is amazing. It like goes together so nicely. It doesn't leave any gaps. It looks really pretty, and it's very forgiving of like the pickups and everything. These are where I'm working. Some parts of this pattern you are holding 3 color. You're working 3 colors. So if you haven't done that before, fair warning. However, it's only 1 round for every motif set. So it's kind of a nice one to practice because it's not something I have done very much. And it's not too bad. I'm doing okay with it. So anyway, I'm getting ready to try this on. And I have some matching. I love how I matched my stitch markers. So this is from Dragon Horde Yarns or Dragon Horde Designs. It was the Black Cabinet collection. So I have this one and like some different like moons and pumpkins and all that. I shared it in my Rainback haul. And then I've got this from Meg. I think she sent me this in a Christmas gift because like part of our Christmas swap, she included like the stitch markers from her Advent because I hadn't purchased her Advent, but she had an extra set, so she's included them for me. And hers was like Gilmore Girls Advent. I was real sad that I missed it because I didn't get it in the update soon enough, but this one's supposed to be the disco ball for Lorelai's special All Alone place when she's doing that. So yeah, I love it so much. So it's the Old Beat sweater, like I said. That was my cast on number 8 for my 2024-12 cast-ons. And yeah, I think it's going really well. I think that this one's gonna just zoom along because I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I love my color palette. I just really love it. It's just so soft and nice. It checks all the boxes for me, and it was complete serendipity. Like I said, these were all just in a pile in the sale room, like shoved into a little cubby. And I saw the gray. I just happened to see the gray, and I really liked how soft it was. And then I started digging, and I found the other colors. And I had enough that I was like, oh, I'm going to do a cowl out of it. And then I was like, I think I have enough gray to do a sweater. And then I was going through patterns I already owned because I wanted to, for the 2024 12 cast-ons, use patterns and yarns that I owned already. So, yeah, I was looking through patterns I owned, and I saw the old beat, and I was like, I need to knit some Marcella Chang knits because I haven't knit any of her stuff, and I own almost all of her patterns. So, anyway, there you go. Old beat. I'm excited. It's going to be so good. It's so good. Yeah. And then today I've been working on adding the cast-ons for this year to my journal. So I did do a journal spread for them. So this is what it looks like. Oops. So far. This is my cast-on 1, 2, and 3. And then I got up to 11. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go to another page to do number 12. But this is through 11, and I'm going to add some stickers in like the empty spaces. I'm using stickers from, whoa, God, Paper Minty Studio. I think both of them are from Paper Minty Studio, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. So I've got, that kind of muted rainbow. That's from Paper Minty Studio. And then this one is, the other one's from Paper Minty Studio. There's a lot of stickers in here to even get around again to repeating. So this is where the repeat starts, but this isn't even all the stickers from this one. I'm cutting from the first half of this tape. So this is how much tape you'd have to get through to start repeating the motif. So there's just tons. And they're all very autumnal and moody and fun, like leaves and wind blowing in and pumpkins and coffee and boots and cinnamon rolls and cardigans and all the things I love about fall. It's so good. And I've been waiting to use this tape, so I'm having a lot of fun with setting up my journal spread for this year for my 12 cast-ons. So I'm almost done with that. I still need to do my reading journal. Haven't even started it for this year, but I have fur in my mouth now. It's good to know. I have not even written them down. I've been doing them on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, I have a highlights that has my 2024 books so far. I think I'm at 40 something, 46 or 47. I have to open the highlight and edit it every time to literally know what book I'm on. So I'm a little discombobulated on the books, but I'm reading some really good ones this year. So I highly recommend. I don't think I've read anything that I wouldn't recommend to people to read. Yeah, there's one that's like a vampire sequel. I think it's I don't remember. But the first one's kind of hard to read. It's a little tough. But all the rest of them are really good. And there's 26 books in the series. So it goes real deep. So if you like a full-on generational, full world, lots of lore, from current day to the future kind of dealio, it is a good series. But just gut it out through the first one. And not even the whole first one, just the first half of the first book is a little, you can tell the author was still learning how to write. But you can almost see like her progression with her craft. So that's really fun. Yeah, right now I'm reading a Lola Glass book. I think it's called How to Fall in Like with a Vampire or something. It's really good. And then the book club book for this quarter, for the Plies and Hellhounds Patreon, is Aragon. So I have it. It's on my nightstand. I just haven't started it yet. Yeah, and then otherwise, like the only other knitting things I really have near me, rainbow, but not pride related. It's not specifically merched as a pride colorway, but rainbows. This one had no label, and I'm trying to just kind of knit through a lot of my stash sock yarn. I need a lot of socks. Most of my socks are kind of trashed at this point, and I'm mending them, but I really need to add some to the collection too, because some of them have gotten lost or whatever. And Megs and I share sock drawer. We share a sock drawer. There you go. So I need more socks to keep both of us in socks. So this is Regia Perfect. I don't know the colorway name because the label was eaten by, I think, Ada when she was a puppy. The only reason I know it's perfect is because it had the leader yarn on it. So Regia Perfect, if you don't know, has like this indicator yarn that's yellow. And the idea is that you wind off the indicator yarn and then you cast on. And if you knit until you hit the next indicator yarn and then start the second sock, your socks will be perfectly matched. So that's what I'm doing. So I've just got a wee itty bitty cast on. This little progress keeper is from Hannah, the Corner of Craft. She also does chromatic yarns. And of course it's a unicorn because unicorns and rainbows. I love it. So that is the other sock I've been working on. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave you there for this week. But that is what is happening. So like I said, I'm trying to podcast every week just to keep things a little bit shorter, and, you know, give you guys some content so that you know things are happening. Check out the Yarn and Yarns podcast if you're interested in the 12 cast-ons. She does great videos and is amazing and so funny. And she just finished up her last video. So she does a video on each project and kind of videos the day or I think the week basically this year. But she videos how much progress, her cast on, how much progress she gets done before she puts it down, and then kind of what she does the rest of that day, which is really cute. And so she's doing a wrap-up video, which I'm watching today, of kind of all the projects together that she cast on, and also a check-in video of how last year's cast-ons went. So I may do the same thing because I did cast on for last year's too. I have them in my journal. Looking at them, I actually haven't finished that many. I think I've only finished 2 of them. 2 of them were frogged. One because my gauge was not right, so it was a hat, and the gauge didn't work with the yarn I had, but I ended up knitting the hat with a different yarn, so I kind of could count that as I made the pattern. I just ended up screwing up on what yarn worked for it. And then several of them are still on the needles, so also might try to finish those up, but I do want to get back to working on Josh's sweater, because I think it's going to be a really good spring sweater for layering, and he really wants it to be able to do outside chores, and we're going to have a lot of stuff to do this spring because we bought so many berry bushes and fruit trees and all of that, so I definitely will share those with you as well as they come in. Oh yeah, thumb. So this, I cut myself on a can. Hubble was going through a phase of getting into recycling and on the counter and in the trash and everything he could get. And he got a chicken can, which I took from him, and I forgot that it was sharp. because we have one of those can openers that you can use that just unbends the seam around the outside. So you lift off the can top and the edges aren't sharp, and you can use the top as a lid. It's awesome. I recommend it. If you don't have one, you should have one, because they're way safer too. But this was a pull-off can, like where you it has a tab and you peel it back, and then like the thing is left. But we've had that can opener for long enough that I forgot in my brain that the edges of this can would be sharp, and I cut my thumb so badly. It bled for a good 10 minutes. I couldn't get it to stop. I ended up putting my thumb in snow, and that's what finally got it to stop, is like freezing it. I tried a styptic pencil. It probably was deep enough for stitches, but I didn't want to go to urgent care and get stitches, so I got it to stop, and I just put band-aids on it, and now it's finally closing up, but I still have to have it bandaged. It hasn't impacted my knitting because I just push with this finger, but I predominantly knit with my left hand. But it did impact my working because spacebar, I hit it with this part of my thumb. So I could not type very well for a couple days. So I actually took Friday off so I could rest it and not be hitting it over and over and over again. And I think that really helped with the healing process. So it's in a lot better shape. So anyway, now I'm for reals going to end it. Thank you all for joining me. I hope that you get to take some time to do the things that you love, and I will see you next week. All right, bye.